A very beautiful morning. A very beautiful morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Wow. Actually, I just put in another entry here this morning, and we just decided to have entry first. I just decided, you know what? Let me just have this entry, and then we'll resume when you people just join, like the real time for trading. So we start with why I've just decided to enter those areas, and then we proceed. This is really going to be amazing. You can see the prices are really dropping. So my entry area is around for 40. So that is why I entered actually at the 40 here. That means it's just a good sniper. For those who can remember yesterday, because this is 1 hour time frame, this is 30-minute time frame. For those who can remember, I think yesterday we are here. Yesterday we were at this place, and I told you we are going to work on around 35. So this is the zone that we are talking about yesterday. 35 is the zone that we are talking about. When these prices hit 35 here, we were talking about having at least something we call at least buying, selling from the top here. So that is from the previous video that you were making, that this area, once the market touches this area here of 35, that is 49.35, we are going to sell. And you can see what happened. The market actually touched 49.40 with that, and that actually looked like this was actually a very best entry in that zone. And the market dropped all the way to 48.40 around the zone that we have here. If you go to our previous videos, like the video that we made, the live that we were linked last week, I think last week around Monday, we were talking about this zone again, which is around 40 here again. So we are talking about that zone and why that area really matters, because you can see that region actually being touched again and again, not only once, 48.50. So that was actually a very good place for you now to place another entry when the market was absolutely at that area. The reason now I've sold around this area is just two reasons. Number one, you can see now we tested this region that the market tested around yesterday, the same region, and as you see, the market is really testing that region again. So that the same area, so we actually matters a lot in this area here. And you can see still there are so many orders, still the market is moving down. So now, considering that we have these areas here where we have 49.48, around 49.48 around this zone here, so in going backward, you can see is highly likely, which is around 45. Market has a possibility of moving even to 45, maybe towards the end of the month, from this corner here, 32.65, 32.49. This is lower. Like, the prediction for this market to move down is highly likely compared to the highest that you can actually get from this market. Do you remember the pattern that we're getting? That this is how the price of gold is really moving in this case, this area here now. And now maybe might be getting even 46 around this zone here, which is highly likely, or 47.50. So long-term plan, that is really going to happen. And we changed this mind because of what the market decided to do here, because we failed to break all the way to the top. We failed to break the top levels. But this is not really going to be the long term. Like, I wish maybe you were alive at time I just decided to enter this level. We could have actually entered together around this area. And I know this chart is really dirty, so let me just remove everything. Let's just remove everything so that we can start reanalyzing this and see where the market is going to be moving. Now, this is quite simple, and what we expect. Now you can see, after hitting this level that we are talking about, we have a very big resistance zone here where the market getting resistant, like the supply here, like there's so many people have sell orders across the point here, which is 5,100. The market has already touched that one, I think twice, and you can see now after touching that one, we got this market moving this way. we have this market moving this way. Now I was waiting to see this market moving and touching this line here, of which actually it is just 38, and but unfortunately, instead of this market moving to this place and buying from 49.90, remember this is what we are talking about. Remember the first time we I think it was it Monday? It was on Monday when actually we thought that this price is now, because of eating this and that, making it valiant, we were to buy at this area here, and also it was looking so perfect. But when we were checking on the other side, we are getting the data that is different, because we are getting the vibe of the market that is really going to sell, and that is what really happening to this market right here. Now after this breakout that we really have here on the highest time frame, so let's just go to the reason we use highest time frame is because two things can happen. When we have this trend line here, these two things can happen. There is what we call now the liquidity gap, where the market can actually switch and move very fast to the downside, taking all the stop losses and then grabbing those stop losses. There is a market liquidity sweep which can actually happen, but the market is really going to take time. Maybe sometimes you're going to see it's looking like a breakout, but it's not really a good breakout that is happening to the market. It's absolutely different, and that is what we call now the liquidity sweep that just happened to the market. On the highest time frame, when you look at this market, you notice something different, like this pattern that we have here. Look at this. I want to show you. When you look at this market, you notice best. Let's see whether this can extend all the way down, because that's how the market has actually been moving. That's how we have been getting this. Let's see whether it will work, but we're not going to like force it. I don't know how many can remember this, the one that we entered on earlier, and that's why you see the market tested this previously. The market and tested that previously. You remember the zone that we are talking about, 46.80, which is around, let's check on the 46.80, which is around this area here, around 47.16, around that corner here. I know these things are sounds, but they are very easy now to navigate and know where the market actually might be ending long term. Now checking on this, on the highest time frame, on what might be happening to this market, because we changed the pattern, the market changed the pattern. Number one, we can see the market that is behaving like that, and if you ask for the possibilities on how this market or the direction this market is really going to take, then of course you can wait for a position just like this, where there is likelihood for eventually this market to touch probably even this area before even deciding to move on the top, which is these levels that we have, these areas here, and moving all the way to the top. We'll check that one, but this is the highest time frame. Remember, this can take months, can take weeks, can actually, let's talk about weeks. This can actually happen maybe in the next 3 weeks to come, and that is the goal. And I think this market can absolutely touch this area here. This area matters because you can see we end on the block. This is where the market tested this region. We have this zone, it tested not only once, but specifically we talk about this area here. So this is the area that you can expect probably this market to test before moving up. We'll check a lot of things that probably happen to the top here comparing this. So I'll take my instrument, put it all the way, and yeah, We look at 45 and 46. Between 46 here we have 2 million and 1.1 million volume, and I think this is where we have so many of them, almost around 3 million around this corner here, where we now have possibility for this market now to move on. And when we talk about so I'll take it slightly down here. So I'll take it slightly down here where we have all this, because it's going to attract this market towards the downside. So this area here, and the market might actually try, let's even to break it and sweep like this. So I think that perfect one, yeah, this is really perfect. This is, yeah, that was really perfect. This one this one was good. This was really good, but let's call this sweep. Let's use half here, and I'm trying to have it a possibility. And now the likelihood for this price. Now if you're planning to have a long-term buy, that is the likelihood for this market to move. So in coming weeks you're going to see, make on this. So in coming weeks you're going to see these prices falling at least to 45.25. I think that is almost 44.05 that we achieved, but the prices are then going to be falling to either almost the same prices, where we have 44.43, around here 45.70 within this time frame. And this is why we are going to have a long-term buy, and I think this is going to push the prices. Once we achieve this, we are going to be testing another high of 54. So this is a very good testing point, and your stop loss can absolutely be very down here. So in case maybe you're planning to have a long-term buy, you're going to have our investment placed here. This is what we call now investment. You can have your small lot size that you're going to be placing into this market, and then we focus on high. So this is where we are going to buy and wait for the market to move all the way to the top, probably 54, 55, when the prices comes to this zone. So if you are planning maybe to own maybe even less, even 1 month, and get bigger money from the market that is going to be moving up, then around this zone here I'll also level it again so that you can see, and you tell me when this prices actually come to this area here. It's very possible even going to achieve, as we speak right now, going can achieve around even 45. So my buying zone is going to start at 45, 45.20. So those are going to be my zone, and then going to be selling here. This is going to be a long term, because I think here with 0.01 you're going to make a lot, because here you can make around, let's say, $1,000 if you use 0.01, but at least your account needs to have, let's say, $500 to $400. You need at least $400 or $500. You need $500 for you now to make it. You need $500, and then you're going to multiply this amount of money when this market comes to that zone. It's really going to happen any time zone. Okay, so that is our long-term goal that we have. Remember, we are swing traders. We must highlight that, and I cannot really put these prices or this live stream to keep moving on when these prices are absolutely trending at that area here. The next thing that we have is 1 hour time frame, or 4 hour. Let's go to the 4 hour time frame so that we can spot at least an opportunity from this market that is indeed falling. Remember, lastly we were on this candle here when we are trending. The market went all the way to 42, which is around this area here, and you can see now how the market is falling and moving down, and at least we need to achieve 47.84, which we have not really achieved yet. So this is how the market is moving. And you can just see it, and that's why we sold at the top here I sold around 40 here, which is around 49.40. I'm waiting to see at least 49.02. I reduced the lot size as the market start moving all the way down, but already we are down around $20, and I think that's already crazy. So in case this market moves up, of course, at this level, maybe there's something that I'm going to change from that, but still long term we may be expecting this market to come all the way down, but at least 49.03 is still going to be realistic in this case. Yeah, so you just this candle is going to come all the way to this place, which is 17, and that I think is really going to be easy. There's really very easy for this market to achieve those levels. Yeah, so we have the market that is, we are waiting for it to move. Yeah, you can see already the last 24 hours gold has moved with 49, and I think that's really crazy already. So my entry point was here around 49 here, so I'm going to move to 1 hour time frame. Let me delete this so that I can show you my entries that I have for the gold. This is really quick. Remember, we have changed the live stream, or now we are going to be doing it. We are going to be doing live stream every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and we are going to be doing it in a good way, so that at least now we can be able to now to mobilize for days and plan on. We are going to do it for long term. You understand? So these things of doing it. So this pattern is simple. Just look at how it is really moving, and this is indeed incredible. Even looking at this move, how the market is trending downside just like that, this is incredible. And you can see this trend, the continuous trend on how the market is really moving. This is indeed amazing. We can have something just like this, and you can see how the market is trending down, and maybe if we have to move to 48, the market can move to 48, but slightly at the end of the day we are going to see 47, and the price is moving towards the downside. So my stop loss is probably going to be around going to 480, so $40, because I've used a small loss size here. I'll be just $200, but I'm focusing all the way to the downside over this place. But there are a lot of things I really consider when putting my stop losses, so don't be worried. Now I just exactly look at this. A lot of things. Yeah, so many sell on that, and I think this market cannot really move up. Like I don't think whether we are going to move up until maybe we achieve 16. So at the top level here, so that's why you are going to really consider, check so well what we have downside here. Make sure that you check so well when the prices touches this, because we are going to receive a reaction here. So the market is going to react there. Checking on the candlesticks alignment, or now they are really aligning on this, it's still downward, because you can see all these candles here, they have closed all of them except this one, so they are all closing down, and this is the next target that you're going to have. So for the sellers, when you see probably 27, 26, it's a good opportunity to sell as we wait for these prices to jump all the way to this area here. So that's another sell opportunity towards this zone here. So that is for the scalpers, people who are planning to have a short term sell towards this market. You can see my profit is running there after entering from the top. So that is what you are waiting to see from this market. So it is indeed amazing. So we are waiting to see the market is good, the conditions are really good, and a lot of things really happening. Now on the, let's see, so a lot of things are really going to happen to the dollar, the Fed and all things that we didn't got. There is situations in the US, because now the Fed, the inflation actually coming to 2.5% without hiking the interest rate. Of course, I said this earlier, that is really important, because there's going to be more easing. Even the fuel prices, you're going to see difference, and you're going to see a lot of things happening to the US fuel oil prices, of which now oil prices is one that brings impact to the dollar, the pound, a lot of things there. But right now we are focused on the dollar, and of which now we'll be talking on Friday about the PMI, which is flash manufacturing index that we have. So that is the most important data that we are waiting to see this week. So it's indeed amazing. Other pairs that are really performing so well. I think we can check on the Euro USD. It is really moving up. I think the prices have not really achieved that big. We have the lagging data for the Bitcoin is not really moving that fast. So I want us to see what currency are really performing. Let's see. I want to see where do we have the most market moving. It's still AUD and GBP. We have, and that is okay. Let's read fast. I want to check on New Zealand dollar. That is we got today, and I think is because of the interest rate official rate that we really got around 4 a.m. here, that remain unchanged of 2.5%. That's why I think there is possibility for that. FONC meeting today on Wednesday at 10 p.m. We'll be going through that. The importance of FONC meeting is we really get to know why the Fed decided to maintain the interest rate. So that is as well very important. So the next pair to check here is on how it's really performing. Look at the prices for the gold. We are down. I told you to sell when the prices moves up, so I don't know whether you are reacting to that. Yeah, but you can see already started with a profit right there. So I want us to see this pair, whether we can just get it. Can see the performance here is really crazy. If I put the gap here for my indicators, number one, I put what is this? I put the gap and the imbalances here. You're going to see the bigger one that we didn't get from this area here. I put the RSI. Then you notice that also in the 1 hour time frame. So this is how the market has really performed. You consider this is a big move that we really got on how this market is absolutely moving so down, so weak, and the New Zealand dollar has really lost it, and the pound has really been performing so good. Now that is what we are talking about. So 4 hour time frame, the market is really moving down, and 1 hour time frame, the market is really down to the oversold areas, and I think the market has to come down to 0.85 to recover for this data. But the problem with these pairs, actually they move so slow, so sometimes you can have this entry here and they will just wait for days before you see some good result. So that's why sometimes I can spot good opportunities in these currency pairs and I just ignore them. Yeah, and I just ignore them. Now they are still moving to answer prices. Amazing it is. What Look at that, look at that, look at that, look at that, look at that. The price is really going to be moving to this place here, 49.05. Currently we are 18. I think we are almost there. So I think for those who missed this, it's really going to be good. So that's a very nice drop. That's a very nice drop. So if this is your first time to be here, ensure that you like. This is really going to be amazing. That is amazing. Now I'll still wait for these prices to come to that level, maybe towards the end of the day or maybe in the next coming hours, and then I have placed my TP here. And remember, my entry was at the top here, so mine was here actually at the top, so I'm going to exit around this area here when the price drops. That's going to be my exit plan for this entry. So we're going to be resuming again tonight at 8 p.m. when we're going to be testing the bot. I'll be here. Ensure that you join us. This is going to be amazing.